JD's favorite part. Long before I ever started martial arts, I would write letters and contracts to myself on studying or goal setting or just basic mindset stuff. Then once I started training in Bruce Lee's Jeet Kune Do, I quickly realized that I wasn't alone in this practice, and that one of the most famous Asian martial artists of the world had done this himself. So let's take a look at goal setting and how Bruce Lee would set goals. He would take a contract to himself. He would write, I would be the highest paid actor in Hollywood. I'll be the most famous kung fu practitioner in the world. And he would write this stuff down as a letter to himself. And normally he would give himself timelines. Personally, I highly recommend this. I normally do this in two different ways. One of the ways I set goals for myself is via daily affirmations, where I write in a notebook what it is I want out of my life. So for example, I write, I have the most profitable dojo in North Carolina. Now, whether that's true, there's no way I could ever know that. But it puts this mindset in my brain that if I don't have it, then I am working towards it, but I will freaking have it. I won't get too specific into my personal goals, but you can do whatever it is you want. You could say, I am a successful competitor in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I am a successful coach in Muay Thai. Whatever it is, right? You write it in the present tense. It doesn't always have to be personal aspirations. It could be something as simple as like, I am a good husband to my wife. I am a good father to my child. Things like that, just writing it down before you begin your day, or once you get your cup of coffee, and then before you go to bed, or at least just once a day before you go to bed, just to reaffirm to yourself. Another way that I try to goal set is through a vision board. Now, everyone has a different meaning of that, but mine's very simple. It's a bulletin board, and it has different goals on it. It has financial goals. I want my credit score to be this. I want to have this much in savings. I want to have this much money coming in each month. I want to have this much passive income. And then I'll have athletic. I want to be able to run a 10-minute mile. I want to be able to do 100 pull-ups. I want to be able to kickbox spar for 4 hours straight. I don't know, whatever it is. And then I have specific martial arts goals. I want to be a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I want to be a silver glove in Savate. Whatever your actual goal is, you break it up into different parts. And those are the overarching goals. Now, something that I just recently did is I would have the main goal on the front of the note card. And then on the back, I would have steps. So I'll get into macro and micro goals here in a second, but the next part I want to talk about is what Bruce Lee specifically did. Bruce Lee wrote a contract to himself that he would do X, Y, and Z by a certain date. It's the same as the vision board, but it's more like formal and like a letter, right? I know a lot of UFC champions would do the same thing with the vision board. They put it there, but they would also write the letter to themselves that I will be a UFC champion. The power of writing it down cannot be undersold. I'm sure it could be typed, but using your own hand to write whatever it is your goal is and then posting it somewhere for you to see and get reminded of every day, that is key. So the contracts and the vision board and the daily affirmations are generally pretty macro in terms of scale, meaning they're pretty big goals. It's not like, I will go to the grocery store today and I will eat healthy today. That's more of a micro goal. In the macro, we want to say, I'm going to lose 100 pounds in a year, right? Or whatever your big goal is that it takes a long time to accomplish. That's your macro goal. And that's really hard to sometimes like conceptualize, is like, how long is this goal actually going to take me? And like, ugh. So a micro goal, for example, can be as small as per roll, like per sparring round. So for example, when I spar with Lunchbox, some of the goals are, I want to land a kick to his midsection without it being caught. If he catches 9 kicks, but I get 1 through, that was a positive. That's 1% better. If I'm rolling with Eli Knight and I really want to land a particular sweep on him, and let's say 9 times out of 10 he stuffs it, but I get the 1, that's still 1 positive. As this is a martial arts channel and as it relates to martial arts, that's how you should approach your training. You look at each day as a day to accomplish a specific goal in your training. Whether that's as simple as I want to complete the training and not give up if you're a beginner, or I want to be able to spar today and I want to land a punch or 2, right? Those types of micro goals are really, really important. And it's going to bring me into the next point. And the next point is positive affirmation to oneself. Doing positive affirmation is very, very important. How you talk to yourself really, really matters. If you say you're old, you begin to believe it. So you have to be really careful on how you talk about yourself. Bruce Lee did this with Taki Kimura. Taki Kimura had a tough childhood, to say the least, being in an internment camp as a Japanese person living in America during World War II.
You know, I went through a lot of grounding because of, being just a Jap kid, even though I was born and raised here. I mean,
when Bruce Lee met him and he knew he was kind of broken, he basically pulled him out of that depression. And in this letter written to Taki, like, you can really see that Bruce Lee cared for him. But by talking, or by illustrating the point of positive affirmations to yourself. So to paraphrase, if you think you can't, you're right. Whether that means if you think you can't win, you won't win. If you think you can't do it, you won't do it. If you think you won't dare, you dare not. So like, I really like Bruce Lee's like colorful language. He was really, really good with words. But I really wanted to like outline this, that like, and I've been working on it a lot myself, and I have seen a dramatic change in the past 6 months to a year on just how I communicate to myself in my own head. And it kind of really hit home for me relatively recently. I think this was November, when I have a tendency to say I suck at jiu-jitsu. And I'm a brown belt in jiu-jitsu under Carlos Machado. And I train with Eli Knight regularly, a couple times a week. And he had me on a video for wrist locks. I am a particularly good wrist locker, and I do it at weird times, which was why I was featured in the video. But I started the video out, well, I suck at jiu-jitsu, so I just wrist lock people. And he cut that part out and made me restart, because it's such negative self-talk to say you suck at something. Now, you might not be the best. Hell, you might actually suck at it. But having the ability to say, well, I might suck at it right now, but I'm gonna be better. Like, the overarching self-talk there is really, really important. And I really appreciate Eli Knight for all that he's done for me mentally, and I've talked to him about this before. He's been so helpful in my jiu-jitsu journey. I can't understate it enough. Finding a good coach to help you be positive and then help you change the way you talk about yourself is really important. So going from saying I suck at jiu-jitsu to I'm pretty good at jiu-jitsu, even if it's like relative, is really important. Remember, what is it? Comparison is the killer of joy, right? That's another quote that I probably butchered, but if I'm constantly comparing myself to other brown belts, right, I should be on par with them in some regards. But overarching, like, yeah, they're gonna be better at some things and I'm gonna be better at other things. And that self-talk on being able to be okay with that, being like, let's say if I'm the worst blue belt in the gym, but I'm better than I was 6 months ago, that's all that matters. That self-improvement from those micro goals, those macro goals, and now the self-talk in comparison to your previous self. Now we're on our way to be a confident individual in and outside of the dojo. And that's really what I want to kind of take home. That's what I want you to take home from this video, is your ability to be like, okay, I might not be the best kickboxer. I can't kick people in the head. I can't do X, Y, and Z. I can't. That's okay. You're still doing it. You're beating yourself that you... Well, that could have taken a different turn. And like, as long as you continue to work for 1% better and you're constantly trying to improve yourself, then you're on the right path. Another thing that I like to say to myself, and this will kind of be the closing for it, is you get the opportunity to do it. Be grateful for the opportunity to blank. When you're in jiu-jitsu and you're beginning your lives as a jiu-jitsu person and you're always the nail, be grateful for the opportunity to suffer in that position, because it's a safe environment and you get to learn from there. If you are, be grateful for the opportunity to train. Be grateful for the opportunity to have good coaches. All of these things come together and you really, really begin to like having a positive mindset, having growth mindset, and having the ability to come forward and like be a better human than you were previously. And that's what I want you to take from this video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this kind of like more talking head-esque video talking about Bruce Lee's mindset. If you want more videos like this, be sure to leave in a comment how you use Bruce Lee's mindset and how you use positive affirmations to really help yourself grow as a martial artist and as an individual. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. I could do this in Japanese if you want. このビデオいいねと思ったらグッドバトンを押してください。もしかして俺の顔をミスしないために登録してください。それとともにプッシュノティフィケーションズついてください。オンについてください。他にはないけれど、じゃあご覧いただいてありがとうございました。次のビデオへよろしくお願いいたします。じゃあね、Party on everybody.